Hey, did y'all know Jake Paul just beat Mike Tyson and Canelo Alvarez, two of the biggest names to ever grace boxing, within the same night? What am I talking about? Jake Paul just had a fight with Iron Mike Tyson, and outside of the first 2 rounds, it was left a lot to be desired. Actually, Jake Paul's toughest opponent that night were the Netflix service. And you know, I'm sick of you Netflix niggas. Hold on, wait. You mean to tell me a company that is one of the largest when it comes to streaming original content can't get live together? You got Peacock, you got Paramount Plus. Somebody at Netflix needs to go and talk to Paramount or CBS or Peacock and NBC to figure out how this works. If Peacock can stream things like the WWE or whatever the case is, people are saying this is because there were way too many people watching. I beg to differ. The NFL, which is like a religion in the United States, does not crash the servers of NBC and CBS. Yet, this continues to happen with Netflix. Mind you, not even with big events like this. It continues to happen with Netflix no matter the live event. People were already calling this, and y'all still don't have this together. For the life of me, I'll never understand that. With them being as big of they have their own production company, for crying out loud. They produce their own movies. They have their own movie light. Like, this is bananas. But anyways, sorry about that. That really upset me. I spent more time restarting the fight than actually watching the fight. And that was very irritating. Back to what I was talking about. He beat Iron Mike Tyson. And you know what? His age really started to show along in the 8th round. And it looks like, according to Jake Paul, that he carried Mike Tyson, that he had mercy on his soul, that he didn't want to knock him out. Like, if I'm Mike, I'm like, yeah, nah. We got to try to do this again. But I really don't want to see that again, because I believe that every time one of our legends, one of these older celebrities or what have you, when our heroes, our childhood heroes, go out and do and try to recapture that greatness, when it doesn't happen, I believe, no one wants to say it, but I believe they lose a little bit of that respect. That there's a little bit of that, you know, because when they leave, you always wonder if they could do it again. You always say they can. They still look great. I saw them throwing up a couple shots. Like, that's why people think that Michael at 50 is still hooping niggas. Why? Because when he left when he was 40, he was still great. He was still one of the top 10 players in the league at that time. And so it leaves the mystique. It's like, hey, he can still do this. I see him putting up shots. I see him on social media. Like, you can think these things. He just dunked the other day. Like, so in your mind, he left that. But when they come back, they often destroy that fantasy. They then often become more humanized. And this is exactly what happened in the case with Mike Tyson. He definitely became more humanized. I knew that after he did his little shimmy, this thing where he walk up on you like this, once he did that, the movement, you know, it was there, and then he would sway after Jake throw a jab, he didn't sway, and I was like, my God, you were supposed to sway before that. Again, this is a legend. This is Mike Tyson. I would never disrespect him. However, damn, I hate that the mystique is gone, right? We've all known this. We've all seen his recent podcast. We've all seen the way that he reacts to a lot of things. We all see the way he talks about things. He says himself, I hate the guy that I was. But that's the guy that it took in order to make this happen, in order for me to be great, in order for me to be what I am, in order for me to be the most feared man in boxing. I had to be this angry nigga. I had to kill and eat my food in front of me. That's what I had to do, but I don't like that guy. I'm no longer that guy. I don't even understand why that guy had to do that. That guy had a lot of issues. This is Mike Tyson talking. So from this point, we should have known that this wasn't going to happen. But see, we fell for the okie doke. He fought Roy Jones Jr. and looked good. But it's easy to look good against someone else who is your age. He still had it. I thought Roy had some broken ribs. That's the way he was acting. So This, of course, guys. Of course, I know he's a sentimental favorite. We wanted him to win. I wanted him to win. It didn't happen, and it made sense. I've seen this story time and time again, especially in combat sports. Yeah, we could bring up Floyd Mayweather, but it's different. When you're 45, when you're 42, when you're 40 years old, and you're still in the sport, and you're still actively training, actively having fights, instead of doing what you got going on the side and maybe getting in the gym just for the love of boxing 2 or 3 times a week. It's different, and we should have known that it's different. Come on. Jake was in a lose-lose situation. He beat him. Hey, you should have beat him. He doesn't. Hey, that's Mike Tyson. He got beat by a 58-year-old. Mike still got it. I know that's what y'all wanted to see. I know it was hard to believe, but even Mike Tyson doesn't believe it. Talking about he wants to do more. This may not be the last time. All right. Well, that's what we at with it. I don't know if I want to see Mike Tyson box again. Do you? Do you want to continue to see these legends lose a little bit of respect? He has respect for getting in the ring. He has respect for staying up. But if we're all honest with ourselves, every time this happens, when you see your favorite basketball player go to a team and they start to ride the bench. This happened with Tracy McGrady. That's my guy. I wanted him to win an NBA championship. But when he got to that Spurs team and they let him in there and the Spurs didn't do much that time, and when they put him in, Tracy really didn't score like that. It hurt. I don't want to continue to see this, and I don't believe y'all truly within yourself want to continue to see this. Jake Paul is going to continue to win because Jake Paul is entertaining. Jake Paul is going to continue to run his mouth to where people hate him. This is all a character for him. He said it himself. He does this to sell fights. Y'all eat it up. Y'all pay for it. This will continue to happen. He's going to continue to feast on the older legends. He's smart. He knows what's good. He knows what's better to do. He lost to an active real boxer whose record was shit. He already went down that road. He's not doing that again. He knew he was faster. Keep your distance. If he got caught, I'm sure Tyson could have knocked him out. If he would have gotten caught, if he would have stayed in front of him, yes, he would have gotten knocked out. But that wasn't his plan. He's smarter than that, guys. He is a brilliant businessman. We will continue to eat this up. This probably was the biggest situation for Netflix. It was the biggest situation for Jake Paul. It was the biggest situation for his promotion. Jake Paul set a record in Texas for the livest ticket sales for a boxing match in Texas, beating out Canelo Alvarez. Now, when they asked him in the ring if he wanted Canelo Alvarez, he didn't really answer the question. Canelo needs me. I don't need him. Yeah, okay. He knows to stay far away from that man. Very far away. Jake Paul, this is not Jake Paul's agenda. Jake Paul is not going to do this. He's smart. Floyd Mayweather, I was looking up the boxing gate because people kept saying it was the largest boxing gate or whatever the case is, and Floyd Mayweather still holds that record with Manny Pacquiao. And what that means is the most live ticket sales there, the most people in attendance. That's with giving out complimentary tickets. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao giving away over 14,000 tickets, like just giving them away, set a record of 77 million just being there. just showing up. Like the people in attendance. That's not the pay-per-view money. That's none of that. But Jake Paul beat Canelo Alvarez by a lot. 9 million is what Canelo Alvarez did. And Jake Paul winded up doing about 17 million. That's bananas for a YouTube star turned boxer. And he's getting better. Jake Paul looks a lot better. Jake Paul actually looks like he belongs in a heavyweight. He carries it very well. I don't think he's going to stay there. I believe he's going to drop. It's not natural for him. It looks natural for him. But he's not going to fight Canelo Alvarez. Gervonta Davis started chirping on Twitter. He's not about to fight Gervonta Davis. These are current world champion boxers. Not former. Not those who've been out of the sport for 20, 30 years, 10 years. These are people active and getting it right now. They don't have to sell fights. People want to see them just because they know that they're the greatest. I think it's funny, though. One of the things that Jake Paul said that he wanted to do was give real money to these fighters. He feels like that a lot of the promotions are robbing these people. And in today's era, that's what they used to call them, prize fighters, right? The biggest fights, the biggest paydays. Come to death row. These days, every fighter is a prize fighter. Every fight is a big fight. Every night, the whole world is tuned in. Boxing has never been more popular. This is why Netflix could do this. Do you know that this Jake Paul fight spanned over 6 generations of fans? Those who grew up watching Jake Paul, not just on YouTube, but on TV. Nigga, my mom was calling me about this fight. She ain't watched boxing since Mike Tyson won in the 80s. And she calling me, talking to me about boxing. This is the effect that Jake Paul has. And it's going to be a lot of boxers lined up to fight Jake Paul because they want that payday. And Jake Paul is going to be able to pick them the way he wants to pick them. They're going to get younger and younger. And I believe Jake Paul is eventually going to get his, but he's going to do it right. When Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather, everybody said, oh, it was past the time. Did nobody want to see it? This, that, and the third. They made $77 million. There was a lot of people that still wanted to see it. Floyd Mayweather moving and waiting, letting it build, became the biggest payday in boxing history. That's what a good businessman does. And that is what I see Jake Paul doing. He tested it out he's going to get better and better boxers. There's going to be eventually some mid-level boxers that he's going to box. He's not boxing no world champions because he knows what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. Come on. There's no Bud Crawford that he's fighting. He may fight Rolly because his social media presence is so astounding. He may give him that. But Rolly is a damn good boxer. I mean, Ryan Garcia is banned from the sport. So Ryan Garcia may get it a little bit at this point. But, hey, I don't know, man. What did y'all expect? I went in with the hope that he was going to win, but what did y'all expect, man? This is what happens. Father Time is undefeated. People want to bring up the Brian comparisons. It's not the same. Brian does this every day, all day. And he's 38, but he's in the gym every day, playing NBA level competition every day. Not making a podcast that's doing very well, I might add, and getting in the gym 2 and 3 times a week just because you still love the sport. It's not the same. Those two are not the same. Floyd Mayweather was still the best boxer in boxing at 45, at 40. Like, that was Floyd. One of Canelo Alvarez's few losses, one of them is to Floyd. That lets you know, yeah, Canelo was young, 22, I believe he was. I get it. But the young man, Jake Paul, just beat the old man, Mike Tyson. It's not the same. Floyd Mayweather was a world champion at that point. This is what I'm telling y'all. Either it matters or it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, Jake Paul knows what he's doing. Jake Paul's goal is to make money, give fighters the power, show them that this can be. It's the same thing that Floyd was doing. Show them that this could be lucrative. You ain't got to get your ass beat all the time and barely be able to walk your daughters down the aisle. for some chump change. You're putting your life on the line, get paid. These promoters that are not really involved, that ain't doing anything, they're not taking no punches, they're not putting their life in danger, and they're making the most money. Nah. We're our own bosses. We do what we do. We do what we want. And this is what we want. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Come on. I don't know, man. What was y'all expecting? Why don't you all let me know? Tell me, was it everything you thought it was going to be? Do we need to boycott Netflix? Like, why don't y'all tell me? Because I was pissed. There, I was watching the fight at the whole link went down. Like, the whole everything. I'm watching it on my Netflix and having to switch back and forth through my link. My guy on the link, he had to log out of his stuff and log back in. I'm not even supposed to know his login information. This was crazy, but it was definitely one of the biggest moments in boxing. Why don't you all let me know?